Gentles and ladymen, presenting the one and only, the bearded legend from down, I don't know, down on the other side of this crazy fucking planet. Holy shit. It's Spiro. How the hell are you?
Fantastic. How the hell
Yeah,
are you
excellent.
and everyone else?
It's nice to see you, man. What's going on?
Not a lot. I've been away from the world for a spell.
Yeah, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've been off of Twitter for I don't know how long, and then you stopped doing videos a couple of years ago, I guess, or?
I've been trying to keep up with the videos, but I just haven't.
Okay,
yeah. Laziness got in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Twitter thing, I just kind of end all of my social media. I canned Facebook, I canned Twitter. And I've just kind of, long story short, I had a fear, so I just kind of I quit my job at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And I've been under the last few months, and I thought, well, maybe I should start getting in doing some things that are not related to what my career was.
Yeah.
Doing what I have to do with writing.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to make a go at that. And that is going to include maybe some book reviewing, some writing, maybe some editing, whatever I can. And so because of that, I thought, well, I bet myself a social media presence again. Then I was like, I just reach out to a few people I know.
Yeah.
Add some of these old friends as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was quite a surprise. I mean, it was a great surprise, but it was quite a surprise. I just assumed that, I mean, because we talked obviously before, and everybody goes through frustration with social media, but I mean, from what I remember, when you tapped out of social media, I thought, yeah, no, that's it. He ain't coming back. That is it. And then seeing some pipe videos and stuff, and then we talked a little bit because you were getting into like synths and stuff, and you were doing some music stuff. Yeah. Are you still doing some of that? Do you have your setup in your room there, or is it in a separate
it's
room?
in this room, but I've in the lounge I've started to set up a little. I haven't done anything with that. Like I bought a couple of synths, and they're fantastic. But I just again, part of just the stuff that's been going on, I've been trying to focus on figuring out how I'm going to get some income. I spent all the money I could, and then once the month's rolling back in, then I'll start to do what I can. Yeah.
You weren't building synths though, were you? You bought a couple of synths, right?
Yeah, I bought a Korg Mini Log XD.
Oh yeah,
which is a record-based synth. And the other one I got was a synth from Deluge, which is actually made right here in Wellington.
Oh wow!
So there's a guy who makes these. He sells them internationally. There's a lot of people all around the world who've got these things, and it looks almost like a drum machine kind of thing, like this big pad with the key like buttons on. But it just so many features. It's incredible.
Yeah. That's
but
the thing with some of the synths that I've seen. Some of the synths that I've seen, the amount that they're able to pack into these small packages these days, and like the features and the options and the menus, and then you can do the sub menus. Like it's unbelievable in like a really small, compact kind of unit, right?
Yeah. It's incredible. And the thing I was trying to build was a Eurorack system.
Yeah.
Probably the least cheap of building any kind of musical instrument.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But some of the stuff I've seen with those is fantastic. Like it is, you can create chaos with sound and
totally.
It's amazing. So the one thing that I've got a few modules.
You do, okay.
But the power supply I got had a weird volt. I haven't managed to get power. The power module for it had a weird voltage. I haven't been able to get a power supply for it. And if I buy something that a case built in with the power, then they cost hundreds of dollars. I'm just like,
Yeah.
That's for a couple of bits of wood and a little bit of power. That doesn't seem like value for money. So
the modular stuff is super fascinating. Like, and then you can it's interesting with the modular stuff. You see people's systems, and it's like each system has its own unique voice. You know what I mean? Based on the modules that you've got, and then just the different skiffs and the different sizes and stuff. Like, even if you go the route of building the modules, because you can get the modules that are kits too. Even going that route, the shit is still pricey. And then forget it if you want to look at, some like bigger names and stuff like that. You're talking like tens of thousands of dollars potentially for a nice kind of Eurorack system, right? Like, but the thing is, though, you hear someone that has a killer system and they know how to tweak it and use it. Like, man, it's just incredible. It's really incredible.
There are some great guys on YouTube who love watching. There's one Melodies.
Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
And there's another guy, Gaz Williams, who has been a musician for decades and decades.
Yeah.
And is getting into the Eurorack stuff. So some of his videos are about his kind of, his sling journey into it. But he's a real thing guy as well.
Yeah. Chris Pottinger is a guy that I really like. He records his cotton museum. He doesn't do a lot of videos, but some of his ones, he did some, I don't know, maybe it was last year. I don't really remember, but some of his videos are incredible because some of the sounds he gets are just very unique. And again, like it's his voice. You can clearly hear his voice in his system. Yeah.
It's amazing. And as I went into that whole, I also discovered that obviously the Eurorack is one stand, and then there is the synthesizers.com, the synthesizers.com website, and they set up their own stand. So all the modules are larger, and they use the what is it, the 4.5 mil guitar standard.
Oh, yeah.
And these things are like even bigger, and I'm like,
yes,
oh, that's cool as well, Obviously better than the fiddly little dials that you get on the racks. And these guys are like, I got a big mouth. I like
it. And these patch kits. What the hell is that composer's name? There's a composer who has he has a YouTube channel. I'm completely blanking on his name right now, but he's basically got a wall that's his system, and he uses the 1/4-inch jacks. Like, it's a 1/4-inch jack, and just these like 8-foot cables that he's running across the wall, and it's impressive. I'm totally blanking on his name.
That guy. There's another guy in the UK called Look Mum No Computer.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, he is so funny.
Yeah,
everything. That guy, I don't know where he gets his craze from.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite videos of his is when he put the face, the googly eyes, and the mouth in his system that kind of like moves its eyes. That was he's really entertaining to watch, that guy, because he's a little bit crazy, right? So it's great. Yeah, those are fun.
I like his the wall of Gameboys as well.
Yeah. That's right, because he did that whole unit, didn't he? That's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all Gameboys. I mean, he must be an electronics whiz, because from what I've seen, he old broken. I think in that particular project, he got a whole old broken Gameboys, fixed them all himself.
Yeah.
But he just looks like this, this UK. Hey, mind the comics.
Mind the comics. How are you?
Hey, there you go. Atomic Comic Shadows Blur. No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've never heard that name. I trust Weird Dad, though, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Here's I can multitask here. Joys of technology. Oh, the first hit was Hiroshima Nagasaki atomic bomb exhibit. Be the same one? Maybe I need to.
Don't know.
Maybe I need to.
Atomic Shadow Modular.
Hey, DeCosta's is there. Hey, DeCosta.
Yeah, John is here. Yeah.
Modular. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to look at it. Thanks for that.
So are you still dabbling in comics these days, or are you kind of you're done with that, or have you dipped your toes back in occasionally?
I'm never done with anything.
Yeah.
I've never done anything.
Yeah.
I have bought comics in years. Yeah. A lot of the problems I was having stuff shipped over here and getting damaged, which was, I mean, aside from the fact that the Marvel DC had kind of, they were moving away from what I was getting interested in. It's fine.
Yeah.
They, over the decades, they kind of do that. They're just kind of a roller coaster of ebbs and flows and interest and disinterest for me. But the what do you call it? A lot of the independents still doing good stuff. So it just broke me when I was just getting all these packages, getting so many damage. So maybe if I over it and books are going to be worthless anyway, so just buy them and forget the condition.
Yeah. But it is frustrating though, right? Like, especially because the biggest struggle for you was just the shipping itself, right? Like that was the biggest struggle, because that was the biggest expense, and having shit get to you finally and it's just damaged, that would be a bummer, man.
Yeah. The fact that it was happening so frequently just
chapped your ass.
It brought me.
Yeah.
So I found something to throw my money away at. So there's some other new hobby. Maybe. It's hard getting into back issues here in New Zealand because I can't do the hunt as you can in Canada or States. There just isn't that volume of comics, and when we do find back issues, they tend to be in the $10 region. Okay. So even something that I see you guys picking up for 10 cents or 15 cents or whatever, it's like that'll be the average, the 10 cents that you guys will be $10. We're just completely different markets.
G is asking, is there a book depository in Australia?
There's a book depository in the UK that's all around the world. They think they've got a warehouse in Australia. I thought about possibly just into the graphic novel, the trade paperbacks, but I'm a procrastinator, serial procrastinator. I'll get around to it.
I'll put it on the list. I mean, I've used Book Depository a number of times for stuff here too, and I mean, the draw for sure is the first of all the selection that they have, because a lot of the stuff that I'm reading these days, I'm finding a lot of it on Book Depository, right? Like this collected Topi volume that I got recently came from there, so they have a lot of good selection, and then the bonus is the free shipping, right? Like that's obviously the bonus. The downside is when I did a bit of digging, everybody and their mother is owned by fucking Amazon. So that was one of the downsides. So I'm trying my best to use it a little less. I still use it, but I mean, they do have a really good selection, you know what I mean? And then also if they don't have it, they kind of send you to this place, Abe Books, I think it's called. And I've had some luck on there as well too, with a couple of things. So that's been kind of nice, but because I mean, free shipping is such a huge draw, right? So like, as you're well aware, it's the same for us in Canada. Even getting stuff from the States, like just getting from the southern border, it costs a fucking arm and a leg. $25 to get one book, or whatever, somewhere around there, right? Where it's just mental. So
yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. Yeah. So actually, the one thing I was surprised about, which I made a comment on Twitter actually, because there's a press bizarro fiction publisher called was it Death? I think it was.
I think so. Yeah, I looked at the website. I saw that post
Yeah,
and followed
yeah.
the link to check them out.
And I was to buy some of their Splunk Westerns, and you know, I try to go to support their own website, as I do with a lot of small publishers. And the country drop-down box literally only had US. I'm like, why even have that?
That's hilarious. A drop-down box with just the US. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, thanks, fellas.
Hey, Imsky. How you going, Brian? Long time to see.
So, so did you have luck with them then? They sent you to Amazon, didn't they?
Yeah, they sent me to Amazon because the first thing I did was check the book Depository, right? Because I buy a lot of bizarro fiction from there. For some of the bigger bizarro fiction publishers like the Razorhead Press and places like that. And these guys just were to be seen, and they were like, "I'll go to Amazon," and I was like, "Cool." Went on Amazon and in the background, I always think if Depository has it, but doesn't have it, then Amazon probably won't because they're effectively the same company,
right?
So yeah, but they've got them on Amazon for a reason I don't know why. Maybe they may print on demand through Amazon's Create base.
That could be, yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, I ordered a few of those, so I'm looking forward to get it. Even just those covers right there. I don't know if you've seen some of those.
I did,
covers, man, they're just fantastic.
Yeah, they're just insane.
Yeah. So I love those
and
things.
Are they all pros, or did they do kind of a variety of things?
No. Well, the ones that I've seen are all pros.
Yeah.
Some of them have got some of the publishers have got imprints.
Okay.
I think Razorhead have got their normal imprint, and then they've got a common imprint. I think it's
okay.
But yeah, it's funny actually because a lot of bizarro fiction was really mostly miss.
Yeah.
like you're buying the covers, honestly.
Yeah.
You're buying them for the. Yeah.
Hey man, the gamble is part of the fun, though. That's the thing, right? Like that's part of the excitement.
I mean, one guy, Brian, who's actually a really good author, and he's part of these bizarro publishers. Even though I wouldn't necessarily call like full on bizarro. Some of the stuff is a little bizarre, but it's not all bizarro.
Yeah.
Like real bizarro is one of my favorites is a book called Death Machines of Death. says it all in the title, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
I can't even hear now because I lent it to some, but yeah. Maybe it's just because Stephen King gets murdered really in that book that I liked it so much. But
yeah,
they're just they're like what come up with if we took a lot of acid and sat in front of a computer
premise already.
what could happen? yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So one of the things you were talking about, you were gonna maybe do like you're doing some writing, you're doing some reviews. Are you like writing any stuff yourself too, or are you just sticking to kind of review stuff?
I don't know. A lot of the stuff that I tend to write and have written in the past has been more what I call literary essay type stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe just calling it events can be a way of. I've tried to do fiction, but I don't know if I'm cut effort because I don't have the attention span.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just what I want to try is try and do so that I can, if I can write an article or something, then I can push out, try and to someone than a book which might take us to write.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Man anthology of short stories that are half finished. There you go. Like an open ending. It's like an open ending. Write your own ending. You could sell it like that. It's like, here you go. I'm giving you the meat. Then you leave some blank pages, and then someone writes an ending. What's that? Sorry.
Remember those old choose your own adventure books?
I sure do, man. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Choose your own ending.
You write it yourself.
Yeah. I'll give you the first page, and you just take it from there. Gorvidal, how are you, man?
I've got a cat dreaming at me.
That would be a fantastic idea.
Hang on, the cat here. Yeah, I'll see if I can, so you can see. He's very skittish. He's a scaredy cat. Come here. Quick. Come on. Oh, you're back. Okay, hello. You want to say hello to the internet? Come here. Oh my God, you're a big bastard to run at me. I come up, he's too fat. Hello. Here's.
There he is. Holy. That's not a
he's
cat.
As
that's
black
a
as
fucking panther.
His name's
he's a giant.
And his little sister called Harley.
Wowzers. Little sister, is that what you said?
Yeah. So
yeah.
She's Harley's twin.
Okay, Harley. Yeah.
I got them at the same time a couple of years back from a not a cat rescue. What are those? One of those shelter things.
Okay.
Hello, yeah. Are you hungry? Look, the internet. That's the internet.
Hello.
Look at that. He's in Canada.
Giant, you. Hello.
Do you know where Canada is? Huh? He just
I think he wants to eat me. So how about the gaming side? How about the wargaming and stuff? Are you still painting stuff? And
I am.
Yeah.
Called Necromunda, which is based on Warhammer 40,000, but it's a warfare, small, half a dozen mods. Playing that. Just getting to Napoleonics.
Oh yeah, okay.
I've bought a 6mm army. 6mm means man is 6mm tall. And there's a company that also just released a 15mm American Civil War figures. Like the game, I played the game. It was as a British company. One of the guys that actually used to work for Games Workshop. He started a new company called Warlord, and a lot is now historical fiction, historical war games as opposed to the fantasy.
Yeah.
So they've just released these 15mm figures, and they are so beautiful.
Wow. Yeah.
I bought the box set, which has got seems like full armies of Confederates and Union, and there's about 1,200 men per side.
Holy shit, man!
Yeah, I'll put some photos up on my Twitter of. I've one little well, almost finished. I haven't done the basing, but yeah, that's gonna take a while. But they're so nice to paint.
That's amazing. Yeah, my son and his friends, they're still doing Dungeons and Dragons and things like the sessions. They're going to start doing them on Zoom. So we had kind of, it's obviously been a crazy year, but we've had kind of breaks in the pandemic where things have been open a little more. So one of the things they were doing pre-pandemic, and like I think once when we had kind of an opening for it, they're starting to paint models as well too. So they're doing, D&D characters, and they're still heavily into it. Like one of his buddies' dad, he's the kind of the dungeon master and kind of sets up the games for them, and they have a blast with it. Like he's really loving it. He's still a big nerd, which is great.
You haven't succumbed and joined in?
I haven't yet. No, not on that one. I haven't. I mean, it's not that it's not that I don't like it. It's really time consuming, and I just don't have, especially with work and stuff, I just don't always have the time, right? So for them, it's like when they commit, when they were going hard, they were doing regular sessions like once every couple of weeks, right? And then they were going for like 4, 5, 6 hours depending. And it's like I just don't have the time for it. So I mean, me and my son still play games together. Like we still play Cave Evil a lot, for example. That's still one of our favorites and all the offshoots and stuff. But that one's a little easier because we can kind of just set the time. I mean, it's still an involved game, right? It still takes us a couple hours to play it, but at least it's not like every single week, So, but we still love doing all that stuff together. But he's got his buddies and they just go full on. So that's great. I love it. I think it's fantastic that he does it, that he's into it.
Oh, that's cool. I left it. I was actually because I bought the newish edition of the Call of Cthulhu game.
Okay, yeah.
And because all my friends are sort of all over the place, ignoring the COVID situation because they're scattered, I thought about running an online game. I'll try and drag you into it because we one-off games, and there's no need for anyone that's playing to know the rules or do any preparation.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
That sounds great, man. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'd totally be down for that. Yeah, we tried out what the hell is that one called? Oh geez, looking on my screen here and I don't Vassal. We tried Vassal, me and my son, when we were kind of deep pandemic. And surprisingly that worked really, really well. Once we got the hang of it, again, like it takes a little bit. And then they have Comancheria, which is one of my favorite solo games. They had a module for that on Vassal as well, so I could play that solo. And again, like just works really well. The only thing is, it's one of those things where it would be nice to have 2 screens. I've only got the 1 screen just for organizational sake, like because some of the games, just the amount of counters and things are enormous and cards and everything, right? So I could do with 2 screen setup. But
with Vassal, do you need to have the rules and know how to play it first? Yeah,
that's the thing, right? Like it basically just gives you the components. So I mean, the games that I've played on it are ones that I own. I have a couple of the modules downloaded where I don't have the rules yet, but it's one of those things that, even going sometimes through forums on Board Game Geek, you can kind of pick up some basics, which was my plan. I haven't tackled them yet. Was Dawn, I think is it Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead that there's a board game of? I don't remember which one. I have that one just because I've always wanted to try to play that. But I haven't tackled them yet. I've only played the ones that I own the game. So,
oh, very cool.
Yeah, but it's pretty great though. The Vassal's pretty great.
Yeah.
The work that people put into that stuff voluntarily, right? Because it's all free. Everything is free on it. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I know a couple of other people that really love that as well.
Yeah.
That reminds me that I haven't even thought about Board Game Geek for years, and I was like, I've got an account there. I should log into them.
Yeah, it's the same. I haven't logged into it for a couple of years either. It's, I think we're similar in some ways where it comes to like the hobbies and stuff. My focus will shift. Comics seems to be kind of the one that stays for the most part, but everything else I kind of dip my toes in, then go back and, like all of a sudden I'll really be into music for a while, and then I'll really be into games, and I'll really, but comics is always the kind of constant. Everything else, bits and pieces here and there. Because BGG, I haven't looked on there in probably, oh geez, man, it's probably been 2 years to be honest. I still have an account, but it's probably been 2 years. Yeah.
It's the same. But it's just like I find I do get into something, I'll get into it like hard out.
Yeah.
I'll put everything else aside, and I'll focus on that like weeks or some of the time, and then I'll pick something else up, and not because I got on board of the other one, but like something else out, and I'll be like, I like that, and then I'll do that hard work or everything else for weeks.
Yeah, put in like a ton of research and really get into the nooks and crannies of it. And next thing you know, your whole world is encompassed. Like when I was building the stuff from when I was building the synths, like from Bastel, the little castle synths there. When I started getting into that, I was full on into that, right? Like that was my focus, getting a good soldering gun, getting all of this stuff, or soldering iron rather, getting all the components, getting myself set up. And I made a little stand, a wooden stand for my synths that they could sit on. And, you know, like it was a huge project. Now I go out into that room there, there's synthesizer on the sofa. There's, you know, there's just shit all over. And it's not, I can't just sit down and play. A friend of mine actually has a space in town here. He has a little production company. He does like commercials, short films, that sort of thing. He's actually going to be putting a space together in his building that's going to be for music and music production. So he was talking to me about potentially renting out a part of it, because they want to rent out the space to a couple of different people. So then I could have my gear set up all the time. And I could go at any time, obviously, because we have our own entrance and stuff, and I can go and just play there. And it's pretty close to my house, probably about, I don't know, less than a 5-minute drive away. So, I mean, that would be really appealing to have a space to go to where I could also turn up the volume, because he's not in a residential area. He's surrounded by businesses, you know what I mean, and warehouses and things. So, and obviously the soundproofing would help, but that kind of thing would be exciting, just so I can go to a space, turn everything on, and I'm ready to go. You know, nothing kills your wanting to play, having to set everything up and clean up a table, right? Like, gotta plug all this shit back in, and you know, so yeah. Yeah. Man, it's good to see you. Are you gonna start? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just buy a bigger house and then dedicate, you know, the west wing to this, the east wing to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my wife has talked about that a couple of times. Well, you know, if we had a bigger space, because we share this room together that I'm in right now, if we had a bigger space, we could each. I'm like, I'm not moving again. I've moved so many times in my life. I'm done. This is it. This is our place. We'll have to make do with this one. So yeah,
right, surely.
You can build up. We can build another floor. Yeah. Well, we actually talked about the garage. The garage needs to come down. Like it absolutely does at some point, because it's an absolute disaster. Even just the parking pad is all uneven and cracked and everything. So the thought was that when that garage comes down, we were considering putting a space above the garage, like a living space. The idea was to kind of have a rental property in the backyard. I'm not crazy about it being a rental property, but I do think it's a great idea to have a space out there. I'm like, yeah, I could move all my comics out there. Just like, yeah, if you moved your shit out there, I'd never see you again. Just be living in the backyard. So yeah, but that would be nice having that
for food in the toilet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Have like a walkway coming from the house to the garage. It's like an overpass.
Or a little train. You can deliver the food and force.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably have to come for the bathroom breaks, but maybe even you can wait, depending on the train.
With a little arm on it that knocks on the window.
Waves a sign. And bees.
Feed me. Oh man. Oh, there's a cattail.
I think that was a high.
There was, yeah, no. Yeah. It's good to see you, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, you too. Did I? I'll try and make
years.
Well, now that I'm on bits again.
Yeah.
We will stay in touch. So if you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Have you, speaking of Mind the Comics, have you gotten into a in-depth pipe conversation with Mind the Comics yet?
I did. He had a pipe channel as well, didn't he? Where he was, I stumbled across the pipe channel and I was like, I recognized that voice, and I was like, he looks familiar.
Oh.
When I was doing it, he's like, yeah, I'm Mind the Comics. And I was like, hey. So yeah, I haven't spoken to him for ages as well.
Oh, so he did do that. Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that he came from that side of things.
Yeah.
Cool.
I forget what his pipe channel name was. I'm sure he had a pipe channel.
Well,
Or I'm
maybe
living
he'll
in a
tell
weird.
us if he's still here. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Let's come on Twitter later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting, eh? It's these funny hobby you see. It's like everyone else is like, you know, you find a few other pockets of people like I'm into that, or I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Yes, Requiem pipes. That's fantastic. Beautiful.
There you go. Requiem pipes. I had no idea, G. I'm going to have to check that out. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we've talked about it like with Damien and stuff too, that it really is a good thing about kind of doing this thing, you know, like I just think of, you know, you in New Zealand, people in the States, Rasa and Adam in the UK, you know, like it's pretty amazing to kind of have these pockets of people. Oh,
yeah.
What's he saying here? Most of my videos are down, started on 2008 or 2009. Wow, that long ago. It's great to have these pockets of people, you know, and then also seeing the crossover. Like I heard from Blake actually recently on one of my videos, D. Blake Wirtz, coming from the, he was part of the vinyl community, and then he did that Copy This. I think you had some of that mini comic scene.
And I forgot to renew my subscription in, I think, 2018, and he just sending them to me.
I think he might have stopped doing them. He seemed to hint at something in the comments about when he used to do from his days of Copy This. So I haven't didn't have a big conversation yet, but so he might have stopped doing the mini comic zine, which is too bad. It was great. I have a stack of them, and they were always super entertaining, like really, really good. And he's a hell of a nice guy too. So his videos were fantastic. Like his record videos, his music videos were always just really impressive. The stuff he would talk about, that, you know, anybody who I can watch a video of and I have no idea what they're talking about, I'm hooked. I've never heard of any of this stuff. Tell me more. Let's hear about it. You know, records that glow in the dark. I'm there. I'm signing up.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on. So he's not posting any video at all yet.
I haven't seen any for quite a long time. He does he pops up every once in a while in the chats, but not, in the comments, but not that often. But I haven't seen videos from him in, oh geez, I don't even know how many years. It's been quite a few years. Yeah. That was thanks to ETA Nick finding out about Blake, because it was Nick who turned me onto that channel.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, John has discovered him as well. Cool, man. It's great to see you. Are you going to start doing videos?
Sure.
Excellent. I love that answer.
Well, I have to do one for as I posted on Twitter about some of the guys from BookTube doing a read of The Dark Knight Returns.
Okay.
So given that it's May 1st, I'll probably make a video announcing at least, and you know, we read one because it's four issues, so we just read one issue a week, and then they would be making a video on what they thought of it. But the guy suggested it, Steve Donahue, he loves it. Yeah, Johnny, my list still up. It looks pretty, but oh, hang on.
It's still there.
Yep. So yeah, when I'll try and make a video. I was too scared to make a video because my beard is a little bit of a mess because I left my beard brush at brother's house a week ago.
Okay.
So it looks so unkempt. Yeah.
So when you said like these guys are going to do video, are they doing so just on their own, or is it a similar kind of thing where they do a group video and they'll be talking about things, or is everybody just doing their own individual?
They do their own. Yeah. So what they do is they say over the period of over the month, each week we'll read a quarter of it, and then make a video. Thank you. On how on their own opinion of it. So they don't often do the videos where they'll do a chat with two or more people. But I'll leave links to videos and when I announcement.
Cool. That would be great to see.
Yeah, it's usually like prose books, obviously, but Steve Donahue, I think, has read almost every book on it, and loves comic books and particularly superheroes. Unfortunately, can't win them all. But I think he is. I don't know because he tells us he's 28, but I think he's in his possibly 60s.
Okay.
So he's been reading these issues for decades and decades. So yeah, if you're into listening to guys who just talking about books, Steve Donahue is well worth checking out because he's just amazing amount of knowledge. Like he starts talking about a book, he could do a 8-minute video on a single book haul. Like he'll have one book, and he'll do a 30-minute video where he starts talking about everything around it. Politics relating to it, or memories of what he had when he was doing this or that, or he's world. He's done all these things. He's just such an interesting guy.
That's super cool. Yeah.
So yeah, he's worth checking out if you got several thousand.
That's the one you linked in the Twitter too, right? Like that was the okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check him out.
He posts several videos a day.
Did you say several a day?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Well, because holy moly, Man Panther, how are you?
Hello, Man Panther. It's been a while, man. Nice to see
you. Steve Donahue is a book reviewer. He gets hundreds of books sent to him. So I don't like he only but he lives in Boston, and there's this book that he goes to that he'll tell you about in some single video, where he doesn't even get into the shop proper, because next door to the bookshop they've got this open lot where they've got all the $1 and $3 books. And they seem to go through so many different books there that he can go in there every single day and find new stuff.
Wow!
It's pretty incredible. I'm jealous of having a bookshop anywhere near like here. But he's a real interesting guy.
Cool.
Real
That's
interesting.
very cool. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. And like you said, especially the crossover event of the decade. I mean, I guess I could buy the prose books and then just doodle in them. That might help me. Just do little penis and boob drawings or something throughout.
Oh, you could release that as the special annotated crack edition.
Yeah. Rip out some pages and put a centerfold in there or something. Looks like Gore knows Steve.
Yeah. That's the guy. Yeah. I wouldn't say sometimes he get hit. Apparently, there was a big thing that a couple of years ago where a UK butcher, I don't know, either misunderstood what he was trying to say or misrepresented what he was saying, and started calling him minister. And there was this big attack against. This is the internet. That's almost a daily event. You can't go on the internet expect everyone to like.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the way that it is.
Yeah. So, but he's a very smart and interesting guy.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Always up for something new. You know what I mean? Like, it's YouTube is what I watch. I don't really watch much else. I mean, it's just so interesting. You know, there's always something interesting to watch, right? Like whether it's guys noodling on synths or whatever, right? You know, anything you want, you can find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah, we calling it. I've got a cat to feed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Take it easy, man. It was nice to see you. Thanks for jumping. It was totally impromptu. I'm glad that you had 45 minutes to spare. And obviously we'll keep in touch, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks everybody for coming to hang out and having a chat with us.
Chat.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to push the end broadcast.